build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who.
Those I can't catch a break guys. Yeah, get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys. I don't want to hear that. And I've had a bunch of shitty breaks. Everybody has. But you gotta realize when you have those shitty breaks what that is. It's an opportunity for you to reassess, reboot, get better, figure out another way, find another way through. It's just little challenges.
You've faced your demons. You've been able to go on an audiobook in your mind. Maybe you didn't write a book, but in your mind, you were able to hear all your past traumas. You were able to listen to them. You're able to say, okay, now I can now talk to people about what I went through. I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that kill people nowadays. In their minds, kill them from moving forward. I'm ashamed of myself. Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. Always make the same mistakes. You must take this knowledge that you learned from all this is knowledge. So I'm just trying to give people that strength to go in the archives of your life. Because while you're probably fucked up, there's probably something happened to you in your life. Go through the archives, dig it up, study it, and then use it for yourself. That's the main purpose for me right now.
You'll be less than, you'll be a fucking loser if you don't. I can't leave the gym. You won. You fucking won. You walk out here today, no, you've won. Imagine walking out the door a loser. I'd rather die. I would rather die than be that loser guy. Think about that.
You want enthusiasm, they don't give you any fuel. They're the opposite of fuel. Yeah. Like the fuel people, they're the people that are kicking ass. The people that are out there just fucking hustling, always getting things done. They've got like my friend Jocko, every morning I'll check his Instagram page, 4:30, shows a picture of his watch, get after it. He's out there working out 4:30 in the morning. He does it every fucking morning. Why? Because he doesn't want to. And that's how you do it. You go and get after it, you don't make any excuses. And those kind of guys are fuel. But those I can't catch a break guys, they're the opposite of fuel. They're just pissing on your fire. They're no fun. And then the people that surround them are all idiots. Because only idiots want to be around I can't catch a break guys. Yeah. Only the dummies stick around. After a while, even if they're your good friend, you gotta be like, bro, you gotta fucking stop. You gotta stop those I can't catch a break bullshit. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something. Something. But this I can't catch a break shit is not helping anybody, and it pushes everybody away from you.
You're a man. You are a man. Stand up and be a man. Make the hard decisions. Make the sacrifices. Make the unpopular decisions. And become comfortable in your own skin. And if you are not a person that you are comfortable being alone with, that is the one person in this universe that you have full power, full right, and full responsibility to change.
Right now in life, your family's looking for that one guy right now. You're looking for that one guy who's strong, who's that pillar for the family in hard times. Make sure they look around. They look around and find you. These are the times right now for you to step up. Be that guy that can take anything. Stay hard.
It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, way down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts and 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you. Only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress against it. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. More for you.
I get happier about the harder it is because I know that no one else will follow.
It's a selection effect.
And I think if you can shift from this is hard to no one else will be able to do this, then it flips from being this thing, oh poor me, to oh poor everyone else who's gonna have to try.
And how do you do what you do? At the end of the day, I ask myself one question. Can I answer that question? I have to take the first step. But I can always take one more step, so if I choose not to, that's on me. I gotta let it go.
Everyone will always underestimate you. You must make them pay for it.
There's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person.
You bastards.
Look, the fight is coming. Are you ready for the fight? No, we're firemen.
We are firemen!
The heat doesn't bother us. We live in the heat.
I go to the core. I am in bit tough.
Because if I heard him, I wasn't taking his neck.
What do you say?
His soul.
We train the heat. It tells us that we're ready. We're in a hole. We're where we're supposed to be. Flames don't incriminate us. What do? We control the flame. We control.
Yes, I am sand, at peace, ready for war.
But I'm telling you right now, this is my life, and I'm willing to die to beat you. I will die to beat you. Know that.
Be prepared to do it.
How many people in this planet? I feel what, around 5 billion people, 6 billion? I feel I could beat every one of them in a fair fight.
See, I'm not a monster. I'm a man of my word. You do not think like other men. You are angry. That will serve you well. Use your anger intelligently. And I promise you, my son, that one day the whole world will know and fear. I are the powerless.
I just cracked one day and I was like, I'm this. Because it felt so out of reach that I was like, just forget it. I'm not even gonna shoot for it. I'm just gonna do stuff.
There's only one rule in this jungle. When the lion's hungry, he eats.
Anyone run? Who would take the last shot?
Hey. That's not a question to me.
I woke up. Everybody else, because I woke up. That's how I looked at it. You all had a chance until I woke up. It's in his mind. That's just what it is.
And you didn't burn your limitations? I have no limitations.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, and maybe not the next month. But only one thing is true. I will be champion one day. I promise. I promise. Lose! I don't lose! I win! I win! That's my job! That's what I do!
You won't die. And if you do die, you won't care. Because you'll be dead. Best case, you win. Worst case, it won't matter. Do you fear anybody?
No. If you're willing to fight me, we can fight, no problem. Come and try me. I know.
Let me be very clear. I'll never give up. Never.
What broke him down? Was it definitely body punches? I was hitting with body punches. I heard him actually he was crying there, making woman gestures like, I can't. I knew that he was breaking down soon.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
You find no answers in the light. None. It's too happy. It's too nice. And we're not going to be taught how to live in happiness. That just comes naturally to us. Happy moments, but the dark times, man, you can't get there.
As hard as everybody knows, I said, oh, excuse me. I thought you just told me you want to be the best player to ever play here. He said, I'm going to show you. Nobody will ever work as hard as I work.
Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. What that means is when that alarm clock goes off, your feelings gotta go away. It's raining outside, it's cold outside, but you don't want to put those long hours in at work. That's what I'm talking about. Your feelings must go away.
Nobody cares. You know, at the end of the day, nobody cares. What we're going through, how your body feels, nobody cares. We gotta do our job. Life is tough sometimes, and it's not fair, and it doesn't care sometimes. But you're gonna hold true to what you believe, and you're gonna hold true to who you are. And you're gonna be that person, whether it's easy or it's not. And that's the standard that I'm gonna hold my children to. That's the standard I hold myself to. If I can't do it, then how can I tell them to do it?
A huge fight for your career, a huge fight for the sport. What does tomorrow night mean to you?
Joe, in 16 hours' time, this man is going to learn that if you disrespect a person's kindness and take it as a weakness, you must pay. Tomorrow night, I'm going to make this man pay with his life, and I mean it. You're getting that up to go tomorrow night.
There is a hawk in me, one that you cannot see, but it is there. And you think I have a choice? There is no choice.
The biggest advice I can give you right now, the biggest advice that anybody can give you, and this is not my words, Woody Allen told me this. I said, Woody, what's the secret to success? He said, 85 to 90% of life is just showing up. Show up. If you show up, there's a chance something could happen.
And I dedicated this fight. I wasn't going to fight. I dedicated this fight to him. I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal, the vicious, the most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Legs to the conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody recent. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's nothing. Praise be to Allah.
And how do you do what you do? At the end of the day, I ask myself one question. Can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting. So a lot of people can take one more step and choose not to. I don't know if you can take 2 steps. You can answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step and choose not to. That's on me. I gotta live that.
Congratulations. You achieved failure. Failure has been achieved, thank God. Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. And you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been.
Life isn't fair at all. Person in the world think that way. So you should always have I've never arrived mentality. And the can't hurt you mentality is no matter where you come from, the sewer or wherever you think you're from. When I got out of the sewer, I got to the road and looked around and said, can't hurt me. Nothing should be able to hurt you. If you believe that, it starts to become true.
And by purposefully choosing difficult things, you will armor yourself against that situation. It's still going to suck. But think about how much more fragile you would be if you hadn't overcome all of this stuff. We spoke about this yesterday. Every single person that I know that is incredibly successful in a balanced way and has a good perspective on it elects to do very hard things regularly. It humbles them, it reminds them that they're just mortal, and it also means that if the entire mainstream media apparatus tries to come down on top of you, let's say, just as a hypothetical, let's say that occurs, that you can deal with it, because you know that you've dealt with 1,000 disgusting kettlebell workouts followed by a cold tub. Right.
You'll be less than, you'll be a fucking loser yourself. I can't leave the gym. You won. Won. You walk out here to die.
Think about that. You want to walk out that door a damn loser, or you walk out the door a winner? You know, I'll fight to the death. Sometimes I went close to death. It sounds crazy, but you gotta give it that much if you want results. Otherwise,
At 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, way down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard.
So it's like if you were playing a video game and the way to win the game was to make the most successful character, right? You would have probably a really character-driven human being in terms of like they'd be patient, you know, they'd be hardworking. Like you think about all these traits that they would have, right? They'd probably be tough emotionally, like etc. All right, cool. That's the character, and that's the person who's going to be really successful. You can all probably agree on that. Okay, how do you create someone who's patient? How do you create someone who's tough? How do you create someone who, right? So all of a sudden, if we had to then engineer the game in order to boost those points, we'd have to get them beat up a lot so that they could get tough. So we have to make them wait a long time so they can become patient. And so to the point that you made about like these people who become really successful have these traits and also share the fact that they've been through all this shit. It's like, well, they got the trait from the and then the trait was the ultimate output of the experience, and that trait then made them super successful that they didn't have earlier.
You don't push them, you don't take them. Like if you don't want, okay. Like even yesterday, I was talking to him because it was Saturday and everybody complaining about the tiring. What you want? All week he was working hard. End of the week, if you don't tire it, this is good question. You have to worry about this. Well, this is Saturday. Your 6th day, you work so hard. Of course, you're gonna tire. Tomorrow rest, and Monday you're gonna begin one more training. If you don't want, go back to Pakistan and stay with your mom. She's gonna give you every day good breakfast. You don't do nothing. Stay there. But if you come here, don't complain. You wanna become this, you're gonna become champion. And now we care about this. Yeah. He was tired, he had personal problem, family. You don't know. You just see how you fight and you go. Yeah. And for this one, you have to train so hard. If you don't want, tell us. Go back to Dagestan. Nobody gonna ask you. So without you or with you, there is always gonna be changes. Your name, this is your choice. You wanna put your name there? Okay, what kind? You know? Right? Yeah.
But can people just make that change? I mean,
yes,
look, I believe
but you have to plan it out. The way you can change is you have to put aside enough money to give yourself a window. And then you have to have a plan. And you have to spend all your waking hours out. So whatever you're doing, you have to do it like your life depends on it. And whether it is you're trying to be an author, time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, God damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You got to go. You got to get after it. And you got to have discipline. That's most people don't have those things. Most ones like to really go for something. And to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific.
Because this world we live in is tough. It's tough. It will beat you down. The world and the life that we live in is ultimately competitive. It will try to take you out. It will find your weakness and it will hammer you. 100%. So if I can help you build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons. You've been able to go on an audio book in your mind. Maybe you didn't write a book, but in your mind, you were able to hear all your past troubles. You were able to listen to them. You're able to say in their minds, kill them from moving forward. I'm ashamed of myself. Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. Strength to go in the archives of your life. Because while you're probably fucked up, there's probably something happened to you in your life. Go through the archives, dig it up. study it, and then use it for yourself. That's the main purpose for me right now. Don't take today off.
Retired Navy SEAL David Goggins is described as one of the toughest men on the planet.
I had to build this callous mind, and I built it through suffering.
When your excuses make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you didn't execute on what you needed to execute on.
And I don't care whether you love me or you hate me, just as long as I win.
For me, anger was good. Anger was good because it was motivating. The more I could create an enemy, the more I want to kill those guys.
Go through the motions. Lift the weights, split the hill, work on the project, get out of bed. You gotta change that, man. Yeah, but you don't understand my life. Yeah, I do. That's the thing about it. And that's why I can talk about me. I get what you're saying. A lot of folks don't I get that mentality. I once had that mentality. That no one understands what I'm going through. And if you keep that mentality, you're gonna stay in the same exact spot that you're in.
Your motivation. Keep motivation. You need discipline. Because motivation's not there every day. I'm missing motivation most days. Wow, some days, yeah, sometimes I get motivation. Sometimes like, yeah, today I feel good. I can't wait to get to the gym. A lot of days like, I get to the gym. And then once I get going, then I feel great. Yeah, I feel great when it's over. But it's that beginning part that's hard because your body wants to stay comfortable. Your body tricks you. Man, today's just take the day off. You gotta feel good. Feel what? You get like 6 hours sleep last night?
It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the noise. Get back to the mental lab.
That if you want some kind of a good outcome, you're going to have to work hard for it. And if you don't work hard for something, you're not going to get an outcome that's really worth much.
Pain motivates significantly faster and stronger than pleasure does. Like, people were like, no, passion's the right way. It's like point a gun at a family member, all of a sudden, 10 out of 10 motivation.
Okay. I can't. You can't? Are you kidding me? You just said I can't? Like, I want to slap that. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I don't have time for people that are weak and they say I can't. No, you can. You will. If you have to ask how to get motivated to go to the gym, you don't need to be going to the gym. You don't want it enough. When you're sick and tired of looking and feeling like shit, you'll show up. I'll see you there because you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to be like, fuck that. You're going to want to be in the gym.
When you negotiate with your body, find more strength, but don't you give up on me, Brock. You keep going, you hear me? You keep going, you do it good.
One take. And not only that, it took way less time than it took me to delay to actually get to this point. And if I had only started with just doing what I was supposed to do, I could have done 4 or 5 other things that I was also supposed to do by this exact same point. And so thinking about it from that perspective, I've tried to eliminate as much time between I think I should do this thing and beginning doing it. And I think you get this positive reinforcement cycle that occurs every time you start. I call it pulling the thread. It's like I just need to start pulling the thread, and then all of a sudden what feels really unknown becomes very tangible, and you're like, oh, I understand the 6 problems I have to solve to do this big thing, but now I know the problems, and then it feels like you can wrap your arms around it, and then you can start taking it one bite at a time.
The world and the optimists get to be rich. 99% right and 100% wrong. They're right 99% of the time, but they're wrong 100% because the only thing that matters is the big one at the end. Your family and friends will say that every girl you ever date is not good enough, except for the one time you find a girl that you're actually going to marry, or that this business idea won't work. And you might have 9 failures. My first 9 businesses didn't really amount to anything. 9, as in the first one, I spent time on it, it failed. Second one, this one will be different. Spent time on it, failed. And the third one, this one, failed. And then 6 more after that. And it's painful as shit because the whole time everyone is telling you, I told you so. And they're right. Today. But not forever.
You're always afraid to take the first step because all you see is every negative thing 10 miles down the road. But you can do anything you want. You are bound by nothing.
What are you passionate about?
What do you want? What do you fight? Anger is your biggest tool. Fighting angry, that drains you twice as fast. When you expose yourself, you leave yourself vulnerable. You gotta protect yourself. Make his mistakes, be his destruction.
People who obsess about work-life balance are typically mediocre at both. Obsessed people apply their obsession to everything and just call it life.
You're just a man.
I've lost my mind on this guy, man. Like Vincent Van Gogh. He dedicated his life to his art and lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me. When that gold belt was around my waist, and my mother has a big mansion, my girlfriend has a different car for every day of the week, and my kids have everything they ever want, and it was pain. And I'm happy I lost my mind. Yeah? I'll die a crazy old man.
What you need is the one thing I talk about in my book, which is straight up, brutal work ethic. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world.
If you ask most people what their number one fear is, what do you think it is? Most people's number one fear?
Quitting. You regret it for the rest of your life.
It just got too hard.
It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great.
I believe so much in myself, and I have a bulletproof mind that when I go out there, I know what I'm able to do, and I do it good.
Caring only makes you
Weak. They think you care, they'll walk all over you.
That was a... But I'm telling you right now, this is my life, and I'm willing to die to beat you. I will die to beat you. Know that.
Be prepared to do that.
If you're in a fight, you have to attack. You have to keep attacking. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul whatever is in front of you.
There's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person.
But once I learned that the difference between him and I was just between the years, once I was equipped with that.
It can't be bad, but for soul. If you got the strength and the understanding to realize that, you'll change. It'll change. It's impossible.
I am hard to kill. I have fallen from the mountain multiple times. I'm still climbing back up day in, day out, just trying to outgrow my shit.
There are no solutions, only trade-offs. What's that mean to you?
That you're never going to completely solve anything in your life or in the world, and there's always going to be compromises that you have to make. And if you aren't willing to make those compromises, or you don't keep your mind open for those compromises, you're going to run into some real problems. But if you look at it in the fact that for over here, it's going to take away from some effort over there, you can't just do everything at once. So, yeah, no solutions, only trade-offs.
There's no losing, only learning. There's no failure, only opportunities. And there's no problems, only solutions. So to me, what failure is the mother of all success. If it wasn't for Michael Jordan getting cut from his 9th grade basketball team, he wouldn't have became Michael Jordan. You know, if it wasn't for Oprah Winfrey and how she got fired because she wasn't good for television. You got people like Walt Disney who got fired, if I'm not mistaken, from a newspaper saying he had no imagination. These are the same people that I got to deal with. Tell me what's not a hit record.
This society is too weak. And why? Because of all the technology which is available right now, so you don't need to use your body anymore. I always think about in the Stone Ages. Do you think somebody in the Stone Ages had depression? Yeah, or even a more modern variation, the Spartans. Do you think they had depression? You know, maybe you are laughing, but all of these groups, they are too busy with their body. They are too busy with activity just in front of the screen. And nothing's going to happen anymore.
You cannot wish for a strong character and an easy life.
each is the stuff you deal with today. At least that's how I probably feel. Maybe you feel the same way. And so I then think, okay, well, if I feel that way about the problems that I had 10 years ago, then 10 years from now, Alex will look back at the problems that I'm dealing with today and feel the same way. And so if he feels that way then about the problems that I have now, then the only difference is the perspective that he has that I don't have. And so I must just be a sensitive little pansy, and maybe these aren't problems at all. Maybe these are just facts of life, and I need to habituate.
Has there been anything along your journey that you've kind of regretted? And then how do you deal with regret?
I mean, individual choices and mistakes, yeah, but ultimately you learn from those. So, like, no, because like even the regrets, the bad things or the stupid things, you learn not to do bad things or stupid things. You know, all those things are beneficial in some way to get through. You know, if you like did something that resulted in someone's death or something horrible like that, yeah, it'd be a terrible regret. But I've been very fortunate that hasn't happened. But the dumb shit that I've done or the bad mistakes that I've made, they've taught me. You know, you learn. Like, that's why failure is so important. Like, failing and f***ing up and making mistakes, very important. That's how you learn. See, the bad feeling that you get from something that you should have done or wish you didn't do or wish you did better, like especially failing at something where you half-assed it and you just feel like a loser, like that just teaches you. It teaches you to get your shit together.
If you pass down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. There's not a car or a person inside. If you pan over here, it's the same thing. Not a car or a person inside.
Day is, no matter what the move is, keep going. God gave us everything to point forward, to go forward. And what we do is at a standstill, or stepping back, because we don't do that. We keep on walking, regardless of what they say, what they think, and how they feel. That's what anger is. They can't affect us.
I woke up.
Everybody else is because I woke up. That's how I look at it. You all had a chance until I woke up. It's today's mine. That's just what it is.
Every single morning, if you can't get out of your bed and you choose not to win, you listen to your feelings. If you chose to get out of bed and you said, there's a win for me, that's your mind. And each one of those individuals, you decide who gets a vote. And some days, not all the popular things are going to get a vote. Success may not get a vote. Winning may not get a vote. But you've made that decision that now this thing gets a vote. I must be ready to deal with it.
The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
Because I have a vision, I have my confidence, and I believe in myself. People call it arrogant, I call it confidence. Ignorant people call it arrogant, intelligent people call it confidence.
Next time I call you directly, you'll pick up the phone.
Logan, let me give you the ABCs of me. I don't take meetings, I set them. And my respect isn't demanded, it's earned.
Is that when it feels scary to jump, Ian, that's exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do.
You have to dive in that to purpose. So if there is an ending to this world, and there is somewhere to go, and there's a judgment, you're gonna get there and you might see a chart.
And this so much, so clearly, so precisely, and so frequently that it has manifested itself into reality. And that's what that's what I am feeling right now. It's a dream come true.
Louis, a moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory. Remember that.
Be hard to kill.
I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that itch.
They have encouraged you to be a nice guy, to declaw and defame yourself. I'm encouraging you to grow your claws and fangs back out, because that's what a man is.
Come on, you bitch. You're scared coward. You got man enough to fuck with me. You can't let 2 minutes in my world, bitch.
Look at you scared now, you hoe. Scared like a little white. Scared of the real man.
Testosterone has some very interesting effects on the brain. The major mental effect of testosterone is it makes effort feel good.
There's only one rule in this chin jungle. When the lion's hungry, he eats.
He was looking at me, and he just had this like look, and just swinging his hands. And I said, "You're not gonna beat me. I'm prepared to die." And I meant that, man. I swear to God, my life, I meant that.
I woke up. Everybody else is full because I woke up. That's how I look at it. You all had a chance until I woke up. And today's mine. That's just what it is.
Lose! I don't lose! I win! I win! That's my job! That's what I do!
I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot. You think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
Let me be very clear. I'll never give up. Never.
Be a dangerous man. Now, being dangerous is not being a threat. They're two different things. All right? And it's not about going out and lifting weights and getting a bunch of tattoos and wearing leather jackets and walking around with your chest and shoulders up, walking around saying, I'm dangerous. That's very rarely is that a dangerous man. Often the most dangerous man in the room is the quietest man in the room.
There is a hook in me. One that you cannot see. But it is there. And you think I have a choice? There is no choice.
The ultimate lesson here is this. Everybody's on their own path. And I don't want to judge someone for wanting to be free and easy. I just want you to understand that there's a cost to that. And the cost that you're going to have that isn't going to come until later. Most people need to shut the up and focus on that version of themselves they want to become and actually be willing to become it. And that's what's ultimately going to create the fulfillment that you're looking for. It's not going to be your cold plunge. It's not going to be your morning routine. It's going to be the work that you fucking do to become that version of yourself that is the exact version that you know you're supposed to become, and then
arm yourself against that situation. It's still going to suck. But think about how much more fragile you would be if you hadn't overcome all of this stuff. We spoke about this yesterday. It humbles them, it reminds them that they're just mortal, and it also means that if the entire mainstream media apparatus tries to come down on top of you, let's say, just as a hypothetical, let's say that occurs, that you can deal with it because you know that you've dealt with 1,000 disgusting kettlebell workouts followed by a cold tub or whatever.
You'll be less than, you'll be a loser if you don't. I can't leave the gym. You won. You won. You walk out here today, no, you've won. Imagine walking out the door a loser. I'd rather die. I would rather die than be that loser guy. Think about that. Do you want to walk out that door a damn loser, or do you want to walk out the door a winner? You know, I'll fight to the death. And sometimes I actually went close to death. It sounds crazy, but you got to give it that much. If you want results, otherwise you'll be like everybody else. The majority of the population, they think they're training hard. That was hard.
Next time I call you directly, you'll pick up the phone.
Logan, let me give you the ABCs of the name. I don't take meetings, I set them. And my respect isn't demanded, it's earned.
Why should the current I'm going there to try and win? There's really no point in me going. That's the attitude I've had my entire life, and that's the attitude I'll always have. And I would explain to my dad, second sucks, and third's even worse. That's just a
happiness. Because it felt so out of reach that I was like, just I'm not even gonna shoot for it. I'm just gonna do stuff.
You find no answers in your life. None. It's too happy. It's too nice. And we're not even taught how to live in happiness. That just comes naturally. Happy moments, but the dark times, man, you can't get there unless you put yourself there.
Michael Jordan tells me one day he wants to be the best player that's ever played here. And I said, well, you got to work harder than you did in high school. He said, I worked as hard as everybody else. I said, oh, excuse me. I thought you just told me you want to be the best player to ever play here.
He said, I'm gonna show you. Nobody will ever work as hard as I work.
Yeah, I don't care how good you are in anything, you don't have discipline, you ain't nobody.
Right.
Nothing without discipline. Because you give up in the slightest struggle without discipline.
100%.
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. What that means is when that alarm clock goes off, your feelings gotta go away. It's raining outside, it's cold outside, but you don't want to put those long hours in at work. That's what I'm talking about. Your feelings must go away.
You know, the expedition times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. We are now around soft men, hard times.
Right now in life, your family's looking for that one guy right now. Looking for that one guy who's strong, who's that pillar for the family in hard times. Make sure they look around. They look around and find you. These are the times right now for you to step up. Be that guy that can take anything. Stay hard.
Get rich or die trying. Either I'm going to get rich or I'm going to die in the process. And then if I die in the process, I'll just do what I need to do.
I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy later. You get busy dying.
I see a whole bunch of people walking around out here. We have no idea how talented they truly are. Now I'm talking about talent, like some God-given ability. Talent that sometimes you have to hone, you have to work on, you have to harness yourself. And they just walk around just on their phones, just clueless to how powerful they are.
A man, as Jordan Peterson says, is someone who can hold that danger unless it's necessary to deploy it. And I want you to be spiritually.
No matter what you do, you're all in.
Well, it never goes out of style. I mean, think about it. If you're going to do something, if you've chosen to do something, whatever it is, easy, hard, if you give it your all, you don't half-ass it. Win, lose, draw, get what you want, don't get what you want, whatever the outcome is, if you don't half-ass it, at least you're not going to have to wonder, ooh, would the outcome have been different? What if I did give it my all? And boy, wondering that is what keeps us up at night.
Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless. That sun is gonna be up in the morning regardless of how I feel and how depressed I am. The sun is gonna shine in the morning, and at nighttime to pick it up. All right, I figured it out, made some mistakes. Life goes on. We figure out life from this point. I'm a life goes on type guy.
You have to dive in that to find more. Because if you're not willing to go in there and face yourself, you're not gonna find anything. You're gonna live right here on surface, man, right here on surface. So if there is an ending to this world, and there is somewhere to go, and there's a judgment, think about that. How can you live a much better life? Like just would have just suffered a little bit more. Like just would have witnessed and realized I had so much more. But fear and the 40% living here versus living here, being afraid.
I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action. It makes you a much more dangerous person.
Your biggest enemy is you. My whole book is about you battling yourself. People don't understand it's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
It's an amazing thing about passion. If you love something, if you have a strong passion for something, you would go to the extreme to try to understand or try to get it.
And after the game is over, I'm like, I have to ask this guy. Like, I have to understand, like, why he works like that. Right. So after the game, I'm like, hey, Cole, like, why that I'm willing to work harder than you? Wow.
I give you the map. You are willing to do that?
Yeah.
It's the main point, because every difficult thing, not only in the sport, but in the life.
The fear is never reaching your potential.
That's it.
And always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing. And then one day you're an old man.
Yep.
And you look back and go, God, I could have been great.
Yep.
It could have been great.
It's not that simple.
Why not? No, that's the biggest lie I was ever told. It's a lie they tell you over and over again.
What's not simple?
Any of it. All of it. It's any day you give up. They say it's not that simple anymore.
So what's the truth?
That it is. And you realize it is that simple. That it always was.
The thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a time to celebrate, a time to join friends, and or an opportunity to check the box in life. You know, achieve your dreams. That's not always open.
If your definition of success is going after it and not being concerned of whether or not you fail at one specific task, instead understanding the big picture, what your long-term goal is, and knowing if you keep
going running. Like, I want to see what you do when you're tired. I want to see how you push yourself. Come on, man, get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. The next day, get up. That you could do it.
I became obsessed. With being the baddest that God ever created. And by that, I don't care. I believe it. And I was trying to tell him, once you become obsessed with something, it's okay to be unbalanced for a while. Still, people, the best at what you do, you have to be unbalanced to find every bit of energy and strength that you have to pull it off.
All of us. So it's like if you point it at the government's power. If you point it at your spouse and say like it's their fault that I'm not in shape, it's their fault, they never let me do anything. It's like, well, you're giving them the power. And so it's like until you're like it's my fault, it's also
what if it's not your
responsibility. What if it's not your fault? It doesn't matter. And like I can't run marathons because I lost my leg at birth. And either you can just never try, or you put the metal thing on, and you do it anyways.
But just like success, no matter what field or whatever you are, and success, whether it's in the gym here, or the business, or a relationship, whatever success is, the underlying quality of that life runs parallel to commitment. They go hand in hand, guys. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how much success you have, or the overall quality of life is that journey, the struggle of it. And that journey and that struggle is successful only when the commitment rises equally to the effort. Now, nothing given to you is ever valuable. It's what's earned its value that you can build from.
Doing the thing in spite of not wanting to do the thing is discipline, right? You don't need motivation to get yourself up to go and do it. Make the promise small, build it up step by step. Know that you are going to have setbacks, and this is my favorite rule from James Clear, which is a habit missed once is a mistake. A habit missed twice is the start of a new habit. Never miss 2 days in a row. So ideally, go on time, absolutely perfect. I'm straight up out of bed, or I go to the gym, or I walk the dog, or I do my meditation, or whatever. And that's a good heuristic. Stop errors snowballing into new habits.
You should be a monster. You should be ruthlessly ambitious, and then learn how to control it.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy. You're
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid to sacrifice some blood.
I was going to fight, I dedicated to fight them. I was going to rip it hard. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal, vicious, and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I
Get ferocious now with your heart. I'm eating the children. Pray people you don't want to know. When you're sick and tired of looking and feeling like shit, you'll show up. I'll see you there. Because you're looking in the mirror and
you're not really taught how to live in happiness. That just comes naturally. Happy moments, but the dark times, man, you can't get there.
to say it. And that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever.
Be a dangerous man. Now, being dangerous is not being a threat. They're two different things. All right? And it's not about going out and lifting weights and getting a bunch of tattoos and wearing leather jackets and walking around with your chest and shoulders up, honking around saying, I'm dangerous. That's very rarely is that a dangerous man. Often the most dangerous man in the room is the quietest man in the room.
Give a man a purpose and the ability to achieve it, and he will crawl over broken glass with a smile. And I think that feeling capable and powerful and competent and respected and admired is something that will get a man so far. You give a man those things, and he'll deal with suffering until the end of the earth.
You're a man. You are a man. Stand up and be a man. Make the hard decisions. Make the sacrifices. Make the unpopular decisions. And become comfortable in your own skin. And if you are not a person that you are comfortable being alone with, that is the one person in this universe that you have full power, full right, full responsibility to change.
This is kind of part of being a man. It's like, you kind of got to get all up a little bit. I think so. I think part of learning is dying. I think part of learning is you got to die a little bit. Because what is learning? Learning is me giving up on my old ideas. Those ideas have to die for me to be open to some new. And so me learning how to be a better man, I had to die a little bit.
The dumb shit that I've done or the bad mistakes that I've made, they've taught me. You know, you learn. Like, that's why failure is so important. Like, failing and fucking up and making mistakes is very important. That's how you learn. See, the bad feeling that you get from something that you shouldn't have done or wish you didn't do or wish you did better, like especially failing at something where you half-assed it and you just feel like a loser, like that just teaches you. It teaches you to get your shit together.
It's easy to do. It really is. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, man, I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going. I don't feel like going.
The one,
it's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
What's the matter with you? There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. Or for you.
Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares. It's only a small percentage of population. Nobody gives a damn. And even if they do, what? You make a mistake, you zig when you should have zagged, you get clipped. So what? Everybody make mistakes.
It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, way down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body's already completely exhausted from workouts in 2 days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you. Only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again.
Persistently pursue their dreams every day and make that choice when they wake up. So, just a mentality, really.
Everybody thinks they're a loser. Every young person thinks they're a loser. At least a young person in the situation I was in. Like, I didn't know I wasn't a loser until I started winning. Until I started doing martial arts. Martial arts taught me that, like, I could get better at stuff. That I wasn't really a loser. I just was someone who was like in a tough situation. But you could channel all that energy that you have as a young person into something and get better at it. And then all of a sudden people admired me.
I get happier about the harder it is because I know that no one else will follow.
It's a selection effect.
Oh! Holy fuck. All right, everybody.